Saturday when I was feeding Joseph Boakai, your God. Bunch of ungrateful people. Have you heard Joseph Boakai deny that I was raising money left and right to feed him? Have you heard him deny it? He will never deny it because he knows this to be true.
Some of you thought I was never going to praise that place of Boakai. Yeah. Because I went to counties. I'm not criticizing because I want to criticize. I'm criticizing because we said yesterday, former President, we are right private jet. When the Joseph Boakai brought to power is flying private jet from here to go to the country. Yeah. But I will speak because people in Saturday saw me when I was passing to go to my comfort. Spend my own money to bring him to power because we thought the wrong yesterday was going to be right today. Yeah. I had no regret to vote against former President Ria. But the people that are brought to power will regret why I have to vote for them in campaign. This country is a better place and will be a better place. Yes, sir. Because there's money in the country that we can live from. We don't need money from outside. So, but we don't want to empower people here. We say that our lawmakers, we have become lawbreakers. We have become criminals. We put all the money in the budget for ourselves and leave them out. I want to challenge some of your lawmakers. Some people say they want this senator. They're breaking all the law. The law is really breaking the law, but you want to go up. You know why people want to go out? Because they want to increase the time. They say they are too short. You cannot be a cancer. Then you want to run global. You cannot be a lawmaker that disrespecting the law that we made ourselves. Then you say you want this senator, and then you waste your time. Nobody here can be for the government equal to me. But when we can be for it's not happening and it will never happen. The only thing they are there for, when last people were there, government even say, "Sanctify people." Young love and lawyer say, "Give me 1% I want to go in law." But they say that over there employ their family people because they need work. And now the person that need work and the person sanctify people say they want that. We employ our family people, but some people are happy because it is the time to be happy. It is nobody's time when the country is not better. It is everybody's time when the country is better. And we give this as a challenge to all of you people. 2029, we may be on the ballot for the presidency. Where we will come here and say, "Brother Saccolet, you people will have to appoint a commissioner for Saccolet." Brother Saccolet, they are educated people. It's not about education. It's about how well you govern your people. They got people that got degrees, they know nothing. They only pass around with every people that they can't achieve nothing from. Our marketeers will come to power.
Because our son who is vice president to him for Nimba, the Nimba people will not understand if I start hating on Boakai. The Senate started a for Boakai. When we wrote, the Senate did a comprehensive report of their findings and attached the Supreme Court ruling and the amnesty law and everything. And the position statement for those commissioners who decided from body to where and said the way forward is a Panama House discussion for peace. Then when Boakai come now, he is deceived by coming there, by the Dillon there, Nombi there, and he now where he's just taking all kind of way Boakai, all kind of thing. He want to go after people. Then, you know, the CDC still control the lower house, the upper house. So they went talking away, some kind of thing they did, but they did a resolution that passed because of money crossing.
Yeah.
Then they sent it to the Senate. Then something happened. Wow. Order they almost signed to Yombi house. Then they brought it that Tuesday morning. They didn't tell me they had it for me. Oh. Then when I heard what was happening, it was remain 2 persons to sign. That was me, that was Bani, Jim Bani. Now when I went to Kum, I said, what is going on? You were here when we had sent paper, and you were here with our own leadership, and we sent the report with all documents legal documents to guide where. Then Burka benefited from the 2010 decision by the Supreme Court to be involved in the election in 2011 because he was not to run with Ellen.
You're right.
He benefited.
You're right.
Then after serving as vice for 12 years now, he's now president now. We finished campaign for that kind of old man, then he wants to persecute us. He's not going to persecute us. So what is going on with Kun? Then Kun said, well, what I will do for you is to help you with lawyer. Your partner said, go look for lawyer. So from Kun offered, my own son offered that I went and found a resolution. I many seconds why y'all did this. You know what they told me?
No.
Resolution is not a law. So starting the resolution, I mean, we agree. Bring it now. When Burka send a bill, they will not put all the law they put in now and back it.
I called you Rescue One. Do you think I really believe that at 80 years old you would be able to rescue this country? We embellished it. You know, when you are a sales representative, when you are a salesperson, you're selling a commodity or a product, your job is to embellish that product. They say, Fantin won't say office or bony ratting. Did you think I knew, or did you think I mistook you for a rescuer? An old man who belongs to the dustbin of our history with a cake views, a man who cannot even operate a laptop computer? No, we settled. We made a compromise on you. That's what we did. We settled. We compromised. And we believed you were a good man and we were sympathetic towards you. We in All Liberian Party. And after we saw you and touted you about and projected you as though you could rescue this country, and we called you Rescue One. How could you rescue the country when you could not even rescue your own finances? 12 years as vice president, we had to be begging for money all over the place, raising money to sustain you. What contacts did you establish as vice president? What? It shows today. Everyone can see your campaign. It's a dysfunctional juggernaut led by people who have bought into this hype which we created, hype which we are sucking the life out of now. We will suck the life out of you. Knock the wind out of your sail. The wind we put in your sail, we'll take it back. How dare you call us insignificant when you were in political nobody after 2017 and we resurrected that dead political carcass of yours. You show us ingratitude and wickedness. Where are you? Our falling out with George Weah. We did. Fundamental. The issues about which we disagree with George Weah are still issues that we're concerned about. But we're not here to give you power so that you turn it over to Jeremiah Kun and Prince Johnson. Jeremiah Kun is a Liberian citizen. If he wishes to run for president, it is his right to run for president. But to hide behind you, he and his warlord, his mass murdering, lunatical, deranged, unstable warlord godfather. We're not going to give the country to a warlord. Everybody used Prince Johnson in this country. Ellen used him to come to power. Joshua used him too. But neither Ellen nor Weah brought Prince Johnson this close as you, Joe Boakai, have brought him. You know what Joe Boakai did? Subsequently, Joseph Boakai reached out to me about a week or so later. I have that proof here too. I will show you as well. He said, Henry, now he has seen coming to be his cow now, to be milking. Let milk the man. He said, Henry, can you get, like that you were me, my dependable nephew, do you think you can get Alex to donate $300,000 to the JMB Foundation? He tried to make it look like it's money for the foundation because he doesn't want to say for Cummins to give me money. Do you think you can get Cummins to donate $300,000 to the JMB Foundation for some initiatives, making it sound all decent and professional? I said, well, Uncle, let me think about it and I'll refer to you. To be honest with you folks, I never asked Mr. Cummins. You had just eaten the man's 45,000 US for a trip you had no interest in. Now you're asking me to go back to Alex Cummins through his people and make a request for $300,000. Then he said, you know, he might be inclined to give us the money because he wants something from me. So this is the honest man. This is the honest Joe Boakai. The A Joseph Boakai that is supposed to be a decent, honorable man is asking me to go to Ellis Cummings under the pretext of being inclined to grant Cummings' request for him, Joe Boakai, to recuse himself from the political race and raise Cummings' hand. So he wanted me to go now to Cummings to go and get another $300,000 from Ellis Cummings. I never did. I never delivered that message to Ellis Cummings because I knew Joe Boakai was dishonest. How dare I go ask Cummings for $300,000 to give to Joe Boakai when Boakai had just made a fun of Cummings in Ghana at a meeting Cummings gave him money for? And this is and these are things we could not come to the public to disclose these things. We could not do these things because we were in too deep. We were in too deep. And so what did I do?
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber. Stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know y'all sleeping now. Y'all gotta whip us more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they can lie. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now you need to deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to be?
And these are some of the questions that Mahatma Gandhi saw decades and decades and decades ago.
Why?
But he cautioned all of us by saying that to safeguard our democracy, the people must have a key interest, a key sense of independence, a self-respect, and their oneness. In the absence of that, you allow the governors to misrule you, to oppress you,
No one could trust.
to risk your well-being,
My hope that I have them broke up. I'm telling you, brother.
to devalue your chances to better livelihood.
They thought that they said they were poor, but they're too selfish.
And probably Takunji is just communicating in similar language
You see the risk
or similar thought using different tone.
they have enough of time, but yeah, they're scared they delay.
But whatever the case is, let me say a very, very pleasant good evening to all of you across the country.
And your mission, your
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to those of you in the diaspora.
so why?
Our friends, our fans, our followers, our critics, and even those of you who do not like the things we say and the way we say them. It's good to have all of you joining us tonight on this edition of the show. It's Thursday in Morovia. I hope I can get that. I'm trying to get the US students recording that Higa was playing this morning.
The government betray us.
I need to get that recording to play tonight. Higa, if you're listening. A lot to talk about tonight, folks. Yes, as we are speaking to you, the much publicized or talk about presidential media dinner or presidential dinner with media folks
We tired with the promises,
should be ongoing.
all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now you
We've seen screenshots or polls and all of that
guess you lie.
from some journalists who are in attendance at the program.
You see, we just said
What a way to go!
that why we vote you. Thank God. But you fool us.
You know, yesterday we said to you we had interest in a piece written by Senator Augustine Che of Sano County, but we could not have gone into it because we got motivated, we got excited by the situation on the University of Liberia campus with the Faculty Association. And I think it was worth talking about on yesterday. So the 1 week ultimatum still stands according to offer. And so next Wednesday is going to be another assembly. The very day that the ultimatum shall have expired, and they will come up with a new or announce an action if the government does not live up to their commitment, to their request, to their demand. So tonight we'll run into that release, that piece written by Senator Augustine Che of Sano County, involving this whole news about the president is interfering with the judiciary, the Supreme Court members, asking them to give him 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Oh, they want to delay the ruling until the Chief Justice then you can expire, then she can retire, and then you can appoint a new Chief Justice. For people crying for hunger, or with the intention that that new Chief Justice will be able to influence the old associate justices who were all part of the bench that formed the original opinion to represent the bench. How does that work? How does that play? I don't know, but I think I have a view or an opinion about that. And so we talk about the influence of the executive, the alleged or reported influence by the executive, particularly the president, and the judiciary or the bench of the Supreme Court. We are following the drama between the EPS director and former Information Minister Len Eugene Nangbe. The two individuals, lawyers, are exchanging professional notes. We have all of the communications which we are going to read tonight. It is an interesting piece. It is an interesting debate. I like how the lawyers are exchanging notes. An interesting Councillor Cabinet Jana is representing the EPS director. You know, Councillor Jana is one of the lawyers who initially represented Councillor Kofa along with Councillor Jonathan Masakwe of the International Law Group. Now, in the EPS case versus Eugene Nangbe, Councillor Jana is her switch. So Councillor Jana is representing the EPS director against Councillor Safwa Megre and Councillor Jonathan Masakwe of the International Law Group. You see how the loyalty is sweet? It can get confusing at times. But that's the beauty of the profession. So the lawyers who were just arguing in the same direction now are about to start arguing in the opposite direction. The beauty of Bogo, both sweet. So we have all of the exchanges from the lawyers, and so we're going to read them. And I think we'll form an opinion tonight on the matter, and then we're going to close it. I don't think it's a serious issue. I think they are dragging, these two politicians are dragging the lawyers into unnecessary politics. Yeah, so that's the size and shape of the show tonight. We'll talk the EPS, the crisis or the debate between the EPS director and former Information Minister Len Eugene Nangbe. What do you think is happening? And then the reported influence of the president with the full bench of the Supreme Court to have them compromise the interpretation or compromise the issuance of or delay the issuance of their interpretation in the Bureau of Information filed by lawyers representing Councillor Jonathan Fonati Kofa and members of the quote-unquote rule of law caucus. That's the size and shape of the show. Like I said, welcome to this edition of the show. This is Freedom Hard Talk. This is 87.9. This is Austin Kawa. And this show is proudly sponsored by Crime Stopper Liberia of Ome Simsayan. Very shortly, we take a break from our sponsor. And then welcome all of you who've joined the political fellowship tonight. I know some of you thought I was not going to do the show tonight because there is a presidential dinner with media people. I love all of you, my cherished, my committed followers. I can leave one and bread and jollory and fried. Sorry, I can leave my show. I can leave my audience for jollory and fried rice and one, man. You know I will not do that. Freedom FM is represented by its general manager, Khan Oliver Khan. So all of us do not have to go there. Oliver is representing the team. So we have to be here to fulfill our duty to you, our audience, to talk. You know, somebody said to me once, he said, "My man Austin, that your whole guest, you like guests being on your show. We let you hear you're talking, you go bring guests. We let our guests be in." So some of you say, Austin, but why you can't bring guests on the show at times? So you see, some people say, some of our followers say, "Didn't let no guests be in it, I'm lucky." Then some of the people say, I'll be bringing guests at times, man. At times, you'll bring guests. So we'll try balancing. Maybe we'll take our time and schedule our guests. Maybe Mondays, Tuesdays, and sometimes Wednesdays we'll bring guests. And then Thursday will come as the week with talking. Or we talk and bring guests. And so on and so forth. Whatever the scheduling will be, it has to be comfortable for all of us. Yes, the cash giveaway is active tonight. And the payout is $10,000. Somebody texted me yesterday after the show and said, "But why you didn't do draw?" I said, "How will I do draw? You did not play the cash giveaway." I can go to your homes from house to house and say, "You play, you play, you play." I can say I'm not doing my serious political show because of cash giveaway. Say, "Oh, I was sitting and spend 30 minutes, 1 hour, 45 minutes talking about cash giveaway when I should be talking governance issues." 5 minutes to me enough for me to take my time and explain to you the cash giveaway, announce the short code, announce the process you have to follow or the procedure to play the cash giveaway, and leave you with the option to play or not to play. So tonight we'll talk cash giveaway for 2-3 minutes. We'll announce the short code and tell you how to play. The payout tonight is $10,000 Liberian dollars each. If you play the cash giveaway and you are a lucky winner, it means we will pay you $10,000 Liberian dollars tonight on the show. *799 *70 hash is the short code. Again, *799 *70 hash is the short code. When you dial that short code, you send. Then 2 options will appear before you. Option number 1 will be asking you whether you want to play in US dollars. And option number 2 will be asking you whether you want to play in Liberian dollars. Whichever option you enter, you send. And then they will ask you to enter your mobile money password. Once you do that, it's a bingo for you. That automatically makes you a potential winner, just waiting to be called. They say, "Hey, Jean Yakwawolo, you are a winner." But it's contingent on you playing the cash giveaway. And we say to you always that the more you play, the better your chances are to win. So we take a break from our sponsor. As we are taking our break, we will also go to our Facebook Live. We are asking all of you to kindly share our Facebook Live. Share the show and share the show and share the show and share the show. As we are doing all of these things, you in the audience listening to us, just make sure you have $200 Liberian dollars on your mobile money account, or it's equivalent in US dollars, which is $1.70. Then you are qualified to play. All you have to do is dial *799 *70 hash. You send. When the two options appear before you, you either select option number 1 if you want to play in US dollars, or you select option number 2 if you want to play in Liberian dollars and send. When you send, they will ask you to enter your mobile money password. Once you do that, it's a bingo for you. Fellow Liberians, our distinguished followers, let's go for a break. We'll come back.
No one to hope on nobody. My hope that I have them broke on. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they said they...
It's about music. There are crimes in many places. In every community, you know, you can see. So if you see crime and report it, don't take law in your hand for the right authority. That it can't take care of it. Crime Stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see a you must talk it, I mean you cheche. Do it for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. You must call to report it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Cyan.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us.
I'm feeling the vibes with originalhits.com.
In their continuous effort to mobilize and recalibrate for a great comeback, the National Due Payment Committee of the mighty Congress for Democratic Change, CDC, invites all partisans, supporters and sympathizers to the launch of the CDC National Due Payment on Saturday, April 12 at the CDC National Headquarters in Congo Town.
Johnny be the problem.
All people call you well.
It's time to show your loyalty and support for your dear CDC. By paying your dues, you will empower the CDC financially as she prepares to make a great comeback to national leadership in 2029. The launch will be led by First Partisan Dr. George Manawia, Party Chairman Janka Cole, Party Secretary General Jefferson Tambakoji, the Speaker of the 55th National Legislature, Councilor J. Fonati Kofa, Senior Senator of Magibi County, and Chairman of the CDC National Legislative Caucus, Nathaniel Fallo McGill, the one and only Rescue Mother, Nora Finda Bundu, the Executive Committee members, and all party stars of the mighty Congress for Democratic Change, CDC.
Mama, Liberia, happy
The CDC due payment launch will climax with live performances by famous entertainers like Hipko King Takun J, Christoph the Change, and Afro-pop singer Dench. Also see live comedians Paul Flomo, Arthur, and Ojuku. Also see student leader, the famous Angel Michael, and many, many more. It's the launch of the CDC National Due Payment on Saturday, April 12, starting at 10 a.m. at the national headquarters of the mighty Congress for Democratic Change in Congo Town. Be there.
I'm gorgeous, but yes. Have you seen them daily hospitals? Have you seen
Originalhits.com.
no more? Download every song iTunes.
In their continuous effort to mobilize and recalibrate for a great comeback, the National Due Payment Committee of the mighty Congress for Democratic Change (CDC) invites all partisans, supporters, and sympathizers to the launch of the CDC National Due Payment on Saturday, April 12th at the CDC National Headquarters in Congo Town.
Johnny be the problem.
All people call you well.
It's time to show your loyalty and support for your dear CDC. By paying your dues, you will empower the CDC financially as she prepares to make a great comeback to national leadership in 2029. The launch will be led by First Partisan Dr. George Manawia, Party Chairman Janka Cole, Party Secretary General Jefferson Tambakoji, the Speaker of the 55th National Legislature, Councilor J. Fonati Kofa, Senior Senator of Margibi County, and Chairman of the CDC National Legislative Caucus, Nathaniel Falo McGill, the one and only Rescue Mother, Nora Finda Bundu, the Executive Committee members, and all party stars of the mighty Congress for Democratic Change (CDC).
Mama, like me, have you seen?
The CDC due payment launch will climax with live performances by famous entertainers like Hipko King Takun J, Christoph the Change, and Afro-pop singer Dench. Also see live comedians Paul Flomo, Arthur, and Ojuku.
Okay, thank you, CDC folks. Yes, Saturday is your official launch of your national due payment campaign, and yes, it's an opportunity for all of you to go there and interact with your fellow partisans and contribute to your political party to ensure that you can be able to sustain the party for the next 5 years or a little over 4 years. Or let's say 4 years, 7 months, right? Or 4 years, 4 years, 7 months, or 6 months around there. Because we're already in the fourth month. The fourth month is concluding. So that's 6 months, 4 years, 6 months. Your due payment can help to sustain the party for the next 4 years, 6 months. Okay, let's recognize some of you who've joined us. Not all of you, because time is not our friend. A lot to talk about. Ansu Sayo. I don't know what you mean, what's going on, but I don't know. But Philip Nangwe has joined us tonight. Oh my man, sorry, Philip. That's the strategy. Yeah. So when they sound juicy, you go to the other side. When I sound juicy, you come to the other side. And you know, that's it. William Masakwe has joined us tonight from Pennsylvania in the US. CDC Pape Success Keita is joining us tonight from Dupont Road. Mawata Ability is also following the show tonight. Agatha Glasgow has joined us tonight. Musa A. Sharif is joining us from Vita, Morovia. Let's see who else we can recognize. Testimony. We are filing an official, not complaint, but notice to the system we're using, the software we're using, so that we can have them upgrade our software to allow the names or the full names to show. So I don't know what our testimony, Janji, or whosoever the last name, because they're not showing most of the individuals. Those of you with long names, they're not showing them, which is bad for not good for us. Ralph Cooper from Denver in the US. Thanks for joining us. Asata Meda has also joined us tonight on the show. Lawrence is following tonight from Virginia. Roberta Richardson, hope that last name is correct, from Louisville. And Elotius is also following us from Upper Cardwell as well. J. Saki Kone is joining us from Atlantic City in New Jersey. Thanks to all of you for joining the show tonight. Tonight's edition, we'll call it a Finabono edition of the show. So, today is the birthday of the original Rescue Mother. And so we'd like to use this meeting to say, Madam, take the whole show. Do anything you want to do. Is your show. The show is dedicated to you. Take the whole show tonight for you. Take it. Do anything you want to do with it. and enjoy your day. I know you started enjoying your day since last night, and I saw a couple of videos. And the concluding part of the other video, she said, "Yeah, after dancing for more than 5-6 minutes, she said, I don't even start nothing." You said, "Yeah, wait at 12 o'clock reach." So I can imagine what she did, when the clock clicked, reaching 12 o'clock. But again, this is a moment that comes once in a year. And so anybody who has, who knows, who value for life, they can go 365 or 66 days, and year round year. I mean, that gives you enough reasons to celebrate your birthday. The celebration might not be glamorous, it might not be done in opulence, but the fact that you are alive, in your Bama music, you can, you want to dance it in your house, your porch, your living room with your friends. Just celebration towards God, the creator and the finisher of our faith. It's a God, 365 days or 366 days. Those moments, the challenging moments. Taking deep reflection on where you've come from, the traps, the entrapment, the conspiracies, the insults, the disrespect, just anything, the brokenness, the ups and downs. Sometimes you have it, sometimes you cannot afford it. At times you want to reach out to people in need, in dire need, but you don't have the capacity to reach out to them. It gets you disappointed at times. It gets you feeling sour. It creates that sour moment, that sour feelings in you for the entire day or the entire week or the entire month or for a long period of time. That every time you sit down and reflect on a particular time where you really wanted to help somebody or you really wanted to reach out to somebody, but you didn't have the capacity to reach out to that person, especially when that person was in need and reach out to you. And then you guys say, "Yeah, look, I've come a long way. I've come a long way." And the people who say, "Hey, they want to do this, he can only do this, they want him me." Some people who you have not helped before, they believe that you are me. Some people who you are distant from, who are not close to you, they believe that you are selfish. Some people who do not know you, they believe that you are proud. And people see and say, "My man, Allah may do proud for you." Say, "Allah, you get everything. You get Allah, he has a wrath." They won't video you sitting at home where you give me. They say the worst about you because they don't know you, they're not close to you. So you go through all of these turbulent times and things, and then for 365 days, that one day when you sit down, you reflect, say, "No, I gotta cheer myself up." So let's say happy birthday to you, Nora Finabunda, Allah's rescue original. We have the original rescue mother. And let's say congratulations to all of you who are celebrating your birthday today, along with the original rescue mother. I hope you all are having fun time, nice moments in your respective areas. And so the presidential dinner is should be ongoing. I see pictures coming from the ministerial complex. We want to reach all of our colleagues who are attending, including our own general manager, Oliver Khan. Our following Hagar show this morning, I can understand the sentiments and the realistic sentiments that were being expressed by some of the callers. And like how the callers were divided. Oh, some people say, "Oh, if you don't FM people, you don't go. You don't trust those people and go there. Why they not in and there for? You have to be careful," and all of that. All of the concerns raised this morning were legitimate concerns. Those who say Freedom FM people should not go there, your concerns are legitimate. Those who say Freedom FM people should go, their concerns are also legitimate. What it does for all of us is that it propels us or it places us on the pedestal or it places us in a position that will remind us if we have or we may have forgotten that we are considered critical voices in the media and that you cannot go to an environment an unfriendly environment and leave yourself vulnerable. Or they say, forget what I said. And you know, so yeah, so Oliver is strategically posted. I don't know. I can't speak for AB. I don't know whether he's in attendance because I didn't get him prior to coming on the radio. But there are other folks on other critical, quote unquote, critical media. It's not a bad thing to be critical. It's not unethical to be critical. It is good. It is a good thing. It helps to strengthen our democracy. It helps to keep the feet of our government officials to the fire. And so those of us who are considered critical voices in the society, I think we are critical for legitimate reasons, for realistic reasons, for nationalistic reasons, for patriotic reasons. And I think they say we can beg for awards, but now we don't want us supposed to be celebrating because at least the government say, yeah, these guys are critical. The government people can say these guys can lie. Those guys can tell stories. They can fabricate stories. The government people can say we are unethical. They can only say we are critical. So when you are not unethical, when you are not lying or telling stories or fabricating lies against the government or concocting stories against the government to tarnish the reputation or the integrity of the government or some government officials, but you are just being critical on the issues that are confronting the people, then that is a legitimate reason. That is a legitimate reason to be critical. That is a nationalistic reason to continue being critical. So when you are giving invitation to attend a gathering or an event, in an environment where people view you to be critical of their activities or their leadership, yes, those who say go and those who say don't go, you all have legitimate concerns that we have to consider. And trust me, this morning, all of us listen to the radio. All of us who were not on the radio, we listen to the radio. From the CEO to the board chair to the general manager to all of us who were not on the radio, we listened to the show this morning religiously, and we took all of your concerns into serious consideration, and that's why we are strategically posted and positioned and engaging in the media, whether it's dialogue or it's dinner, in a manner and form it is being done. So we want to say thanks to all of you for your concerns. It shows that we have people who believe in us, who are concerned about us, who care about us, who want to see us live, survive, strong, to continuously engage the government. Hats off to all of you for your advice and for your concerns, and we are good. Having said that, okay, as that made us say AB on the show, so AB, so AB, so listen to yesterday I was speaking about these University of Liberia students. Even the government that we supported, even though we did not give them enough reasons or legitimate reasons, to come out to protest for their welfare or their well-being, because the government that we supported solved most of the problems from the early stages of the government. Okay, so there were less protests on campus for welfare issue. Now, but that does not mean that there were not challenges confronting the students under the government that we supported. There were infrastructure issues or sanitation issues. There were stationary issues, sanitation. Also, obviously, I'm talking about the different bathrooms issues that were being raised by those students. So there were issues. There will always be issues. But when you refuse to sit and have a conversation with the students who are the victims, when you refuse to live up to your commitment for over a year, and with your last commitment to them for since November, then you give them legitimate reason to behave and sound in the manner you are about to hear them sounding. Listen to them.
In 1 year, 6 months, the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning had turned to a private bank. In 1 year, 6 months, the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism have turned to a sack of procurement. Use the language. Oh, Daniel, stop causing the people and give the people work. Yo. The government has nothing to say So they have reduced themselves to mind backwards. That's what I say. That's what I say. Mind backwards. Mind backwards. Yo, focus on the people where yo. A regime that see the color nature and posture of the people. Access to demanding better life. As a posture of reactions must be confronted forcefully without being apologetic to how you engage them. Let us say to Mr. Boyka and his simple government. The time has reached. Masses are at the cross line and the crossroad. Yo, it is a time for nation. Yo. And political enactment is what necessary. Comrades, if you have read the report from the Ministry of Health, 8 out of every 10 pregnant women die every year in this country. Nigeria has the highest statistics when it comes to infant mortality. To get pregnant in this country is a crime now. Get pregnant and you are worried as to if you give birth successfully. While Mr. Boyka and his quote-unquote health ministers parade in luxury. National police! National police! Next song! Steve! That's all for all. That's all for one, yo. While Mr. Boyka and health minister parade in police. Today, Thomas, Liberia is ranked the number 400 country in the world, the number 200 country in the world.
And this is the portion I want you to listen to. That's why I decided to play this audio, right? So you're listening to this portion, which is, it may sound funny or laughable, but trust me, it is not funny. It is not laughable. Listen.
That's all for all. That's all for one, yo. While Mr. Boyka and health minister parade in police. Today, Thomas, Liberia is ranked the number 400 country in the world, the number 200 country in the world. To eat Liberia is an achievement. I ready Liberia is at 20% the way. I'm over the angry. Don't be surprised when you wake up in the morning and you speak to somebody and they get problem while you speaking to them. They are angry. The state is at a point where the government feels that it cannot provide solutions, so they are running to blame game.
Okay, so some of us will have anyway, but some of we spend all of our time reading and researching. And so this evening when I came, I forgot that I had to research the session made by by this young colleague from the university. Whatever the case, I said, no, we will do live research. So the audience will be listening to us. Those who have smartphones will also be listening to us, and they will Google the number 4 angry country in the world or in Africa. They will give you the list of 10, or in some cases, they give you a list of 5. Let's see what these guys, these young scholars or intellectuals on the University of Liberia, let's see what are they following. So yes, we have to do this. Like I said, it may sound funny, but this is not the first time Liberia is making or a list of angry countries in the world. Even under Mr. Weah, the government that we supported, I remember in 2021 or 2022, Liberia was among the list of the most angry countries in the world. And then another report came out again and said Liberia was among the list of the most hospitable people in the world. You know, somebody may ask, how important or relevant are these reports, to your countries, to these countries? But you may not know, but it's important. Okay, was most. Yeah, I put that. You see, people using the phone, be calling, they message me. Imagine they message me text. Say, I'm following. I read the text. Then they may calling me. And he's calling me. When I answer, you say, "My man, I'm following the show." Hey, Chief, I already read a text you follow me. They keep me calling me again to tell me you follow me. Let me use my phone. I beg you. Yeah. Hey, WORLD, Buster VS was most angry. Was most angry countries. Okay, yes, different options here. Okay, the world's angriest countries 2022. No, I want 2024. Give me 2024. I see, I ain't seen all the options I seen like people flare. Okay, let me see. This is 2023. It is April 2023. No. Okay, yes, I got found 2025. Was angriest countries 2025. So let's see. Okay, sure. Okay, so okay. So what we see here, in 2025, Lebanon continues to be the angriest country in the world, with nearly half of its population reporting feeling angry. Half of its population are reporting that they feel angry. Neighboring countries like Turkey and Armenia also experience high levels of anger. Other nations with significant anger levels include Iraq, Afghanistan, Jordan, Mali, and Sierra Leone. Yeah, so they say, okay, all breakdown, everything, yeah, blah, 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 everything. So, so they may say fourth. Other countries we name, and see Liberia. So let me use Africa. Let's try Africa and see. Africa's and see what can we relate anger. How can we relate anger to Liberia? AFRICA. Okay, Africa's angriest countries 2025. So let's see what they gave me. Okay, so yes, let's go there review. So this one, I think there's an AI review. So let me reference. There's an AI review. So they say in 2025, some of Africa's angriest countries, meaning those experiencing high levels of conflict, violence, and instability, include Sudan, South Sudan, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Sudan's ongoing civil war is a major source of humanitarian crisis. South Sudan faces ongoing ethnic and political conflicts, posing risks to travelers and journalists. The DRC, with its conflicts over resources, also remains a dangerous region. Additionally, countries like Mali, Somalia, and the Central African Republic continue to grapple with instability and violence. Yes, more detailed look at the situation. Sudan, South Sudan, Democratic Republic of Congo, Mali, Somalia, Central African Republic, and all of that. So these are the first five giving. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So no, maybe we need to do more research with the UN population of the world population reservoir stuff, and then UN population also is Transparency International Human Index. All they will have. So there are different websites, but this is an AI review. So for me, I don't want to hold it 100% or even 50%. So we can show you that we're going to take our break tonight, but by Monday's edition, I think this is something important that we look at, and we're going to do our own research with the economic terms, the UN population house, maybe Transparency International, and look at the US State Department report and all of that. Those are maybe proximity institutions or entities that that we can rely on for these kind of reports. So yes, I think we'll try to use them. And then this is an assurance that Monday, we'll place emphasis on this conversation. It's important, especially as it has to do with anger and hunger, but particularly anger. Yeah. And but I mean, so that's it. That's it. So let's move into our discussion, folks. So as we were talking, don't forget that the cash giveaway is active, and like we announced to you, the payout tonight is 10,000 Liberian dollars, and so the opportunity is yours to call. But before we move into our discussion, bear with me. Let me give two persons, which I've already done, but I have to call them and talk to them to confirm that they receive at least their monies. We've sent $2,000 to two persons. That is $1,000 each. Let me see whether I can talk to this man and say, "Oh, man, you can spend down the cash giveaway, blah, blah," so they can encourage other place. So let me spend some time before we run into the politics. This person number is 0881 51 78 52. Me, I will announce the numbers on the radio because I love transparency. So people can say, "Oh, the number they're calling that they are only people number." So when I announce the number, you can take it and you sending mobile money to the number. Yeah, if the number connected to anybody yeah. So we can announce the number. So 088. Okay, this. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Okay, and you?
I'm fine. My name is Austin Kawa. I'm calling you from Freedom FM.
From Freedom FM?
Yes, my name is Austin Kawa.
Great.
What is your name?
Honest
Doma. Okay. We noticed that you are a regular follower of Freedom FM.
Sure.
And you've been playing our cash giveaway.
What? More than 10,000.
Yeah. Have you won before?
I've been getting weak now. Oh, is that it's not for one now?
Yeah, not for one now. So I know.
I believe it.
I see. So that's why we decided saying the $1,000 to say you've been playing, we've been unsuccessful, but because you are a follower of Freedom FM in our show here, we said let's send our man at least 1K, and to keep him to soften his heart.
Yeah, sometimes I can see it drop from my verse because I've been playing from different radio station, but sometimes I always forgot on the one.
Yeah, so now I go to stick one play too. But anyway, congratulations to you, my brother, and thanks for listening to the show and following our shows here.
Thank you. That God bless us.
Okay, amen. So that's our brother there. Let's talk to the second person who will send $1,000 to. So all you have to do, just make sure you have $200 in your phone tonight, or $1.50 in US dollars. You are qualified to play, and then you dial *799 *70 hash. That's the short code. When you do that, you send, and two options will appear before you. Option number one will be asking you to play in US dollars, and option number two will be asking you to play in Liberian dollars. Whichever option you enter, you send, and then you enter your mobile money password. So let's call 0881 86 12 26. This is the second person that we've already sent $1,000 to. Let's call to confirm whether he or she received the money. So this person's phone.
Hello.
Good evening to you.
Hello.
How are you? I'm okay. This is Austin Kawa, and I'm calling you from Freedom FM.
Yes. I used to say thank you.
Okay. What is your name? What is your name? What is your name?
Gifty Morris.
Okay, Gifty Morris. We know our system shows that you've been playing, but you've been also successful to win. And so, as a way of saying thank you for believing in us, thank you for trusting us, thank you for following our shows here, we say you $1,000 and say congratulations to you for following and for playing. But keep trying to play. One day, don't forget. One day you might win 20 or the 50K. So keep playing.
So I will not give up. I'm not trying.
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome, Gifty. So that's it. We send them to $1,000 each, and the two of them confirm that they received their money. So you now can play stars by dialing *799 *70 hash. You send, and then your two options will appear before you. option number 1 will be asking you whether you want to play in US dollars, and option number 2 will be asking you whether you want to play in LD. If you select option number 1, it means you are playing in USD. If you select option number 2, it means you are playing in Liberian dollars. And whichever option you select, you will send, and then you enter your mobile money password. So let's move on to our discussion. While we, I was trying to talk to Finabono, but I think we'll leave it as that, and then we'll move on. Let's move on. So these are communications or exchanges between the two lawyers representing Eugene Nangbe and the EPS director. Let me read the letter from Councillor Janet first. So, in case you missed or you did not follow, it all started when Eugene made an appearance on OKFM last week. And Eugene made an assertion which I'm not going to repeat because that matter is the evidence that the lawyers are going to use in court. I'm not going to play it also because that is the evidence that the lawyers are going to use or defend or argue against in court. If it does, go to court. After Eugene made the assertion, same day, the EPS director went to Eugene Nangwe's inbox on WhatsApp and sent him a couple of messages. So they started exchanging messages in our WhatsApp inbox. One of the messages that was sent to Eugene, which Eugene is considering now as a direct threat, was taken to his lawyers. Also, the EBS director believed that Eugene's statement is strong enough to place him into harm's way or to defame his character or his reputation. And so he decided to go to court. He went to his lawyer. His lawyer probably advised and said, no, let's write the man, ask him to retract the statement first. If he does not, then we can proceed with litigation. So this is a letter written by the lawyer representing Mr. Semige from the EPS. Wednesday, April 9, 2025, Mr. Len Eugene Nangbe, Chief of Staff, former President George M. Weah, Monrovia, Liberia. Dear Mr. Nangbe, Tonya Legal Consultancy and Arbitration Chambers represents the legal interests of Mr. Sam Gay, Director, Executive Protection Service, EPS. He said, the law in our jurisdiction is that injury may be offered to a person's reputation when an untrue allegation or defamatory utterance is made against said person, which has the tendency to injure the person's societal standing and public reputation. Such injury can be offered verbally or by signs. We refer to the substantial accusations you made on March 31, 2025 against Mr. Semge during an interview on OKFM conducted by Julius J. In the reference interview, you accused Mr. Gay of having a photo in his bedroom depicting, unquote, a gun at former President Weah. This avalanche of defamatory utterances and accusations against Mr. Gay, although totally untrue, yet have nevertheless resulted to intangible public shame of Mr. Gay's reputation both nationally and internationally. In view of the foregoing, we are most respectfully demanding public retraction of the accusatory and defamatory utterances within 48 hours as of the hour and date of receipt of this communication. Kind regards, Cabinet M. Janet, Senior Counselor, May 2018, Liberian National Bar Association, LNBA, one of counsel, blah, 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 and all of that. After this communication was written, the lawyers representing Mr. Eugene Nangwe also responded to Cabinet Janet. I'll scream out to read this one. So, on today, the lawyers wrote, they said, Cabinet M. Janet, Senior Counselor, Tonya Legal Consultancy and Arbitration Chambers, blah, 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 blah. Dear Counselor Janet, we write. Let me twist this around and then zoom in so I can be able to. Where does it work? I'm trying to. Oh, this is my okay portrait. I want a portrait. That's what I want. Okay, so I can zoom now to get a clearer picture of it. Yes. Dear Councillor Janet, we write in response to your letter dated April 8, 2025, alleging that our client, Mr. Eugene Nangwe, made defamatory statements against Mr. Semgay during a March 31, 2025 interview on OKFM. You demand a public retraction within 48 hours based on what you described as a false and injurious statement. Our client unequivocally denies making any defamatory statement against Mr. Gay. At no time did Mr. Nangme accuse Mr. Gay of possessing, unquote, or in quotation, a photo in his bedroom depicting a gun at former President Weah. The record of the interview, when reviewed in its full and proper context, makes it clear that Mr. Nangme made no such statement that rises to the level of defamation under Liberian law. What is of greater concern, however, is that following the referenced interview, Mr. Gay sent a threatening WhatsApp message to our client. In that message, Mr. Gay issued a remark that put Mr. Nangme's personal safety at risk, giving Mr. Gay's position as director of the Executive Protection Service, the EPS, and the authority that comes with that rule, including access to firearms. Our client takes this threat very seriously. We are currently exploring all legal avenues, including but not limited to filing a formal complaint with the appropriate authorities for threats and intimidation. No individual, regardless of status or title, is above the law. Accordingly, your demand for a retraction is respectfully rejected by our client. We consider this matter closed and caution your client against any further attempts to intimidate or harass our client under the guise of legal process. Respectfully yours, Safua May Gray, Counselor at Law, and Jonathan T. Masakwe, Counselor at Law, representing Eugene. They also sent a communication to the Minister of Justice, which I'm going to read. Let me zoom for clearer view. Today, the 10th of April, they also sent a communication to the Minister of Justice. It reads, Honorable Councillor Oswald Twe, Minister of Justice, Attorney General, Republic of Liberia, blah, blah, blah. Formal complaint against Mr. Semgay for threats issued to Mr. Eugene Nangme. Dear Honorable Twe, we present our compliments and write to formally bring to your attention a matter involving Mr. Semgay, Director of the Executive Protection Service, concerning a direct and concerning threats issued to our client. Mr. Lane Eugene Nangwe, former Minister of Information and Chief of Office staff of the former President, His Excellency George Manuel. On March 31, 2025, Mr. Nangbe participated in a live radio interview on OKFM, during which he addressed a number of public interest and national governance issues. Subsequent to that appearance, Mr. Gay sent our client a WhatsApp message stating, unquote, "You will hear from me," unquote. The threatening nature, timing, and the tone of this message coming. I think I need water. The threatening nature, timing, and tone of this message coming immediately after the radio interview raised concern or serious concern, given his history of making threats of political opponents on social media. Given Mr. Gay's current role as director of the EPS, which affords him access to state security apparatus and firearms, our client believes his life is at risk. The message, though brief, constitutes a veiled threat that may signal an abuse of official authority and an attempt to intimidate a citizen for exercising his right to free expression. In view of the seriousness of this matter, we respectfully request that the Ministry of Justice immediately open a formal investigation into the communication sent by Mr. Gay, and if probable cause is established, prosecute him. Also, assess the intent, legality, and implications of the threat in light of Mr. Gay's official responsibilities. Lastly, take any necessary legal and protective measures under the laws of the Republic of Liberia to ensure accountability and deter the misuse of public office for personal retaliation. We trust in your commitment to upholding the rule of law and protecting all citizens equally, regardless of rank or political standing. We await your prompt intervention in this matter. Respectfully yours, Safua Megre, Councillor at Law, Jonathan T. Massacre, Councillor at Law, and they also CC the U.S. Embassy, the African Union, the European Union, the Samuel Kofi Woods, National Security Advisor, National Commission on Human Rights, House Committee on National Security and Defense, Senate Committee on National Security and Defense. So that's how far this matter has gone. But here's what I want to say. You see, I think there was probably was an oversight. They can correct that one. But the show Eugene appeared on was not Judas's show. But they can correct that one. Those are the minor things. I'm not even too sure if the matter goes for litigation. I'm not too sure it's going to consider that one. Well, yeah, at times in this kind of official, complicated political engagements, it's good to always have your facts correctly. It's good to be on top of the facts. You know, you can be accusing the man of causing you, and you don't even know the platform or the platform that the man sat on or used to allegedly insult you. You know, you see the man will appear in Bon County, then you run, oh, the man in Nima causing me. The man in Nima causing me. You know, I mean, undermines the integrity of your information. That's what it does. It undermines the integrity of your information and brings your entire information into questioning the truthfulness of that. You know, so that's the first misstep. I think it's a major misstep that anybody can capitalize on and say, man, I would talk in that making sense. Yeah. So, but the debate is on, which I want to call a debate. I think it's an ordinary political debate. I think same gay is not doing himself well. You see, I remember at the time we were practicing with Hot FM. There was a director for the EPS. May his soul rest in peace, Othello Warwick. And we are going to Grand Bassa to participate in our World Press Freedom Day. And between 2007 and 2011, there were a lot of, especially between 2007 and 2009, media, or let's say journalists, put security people were having a lot of issues. I remember a particular time, even the union was going back and forth with security people and security institutions, particularly the EPS. Harassment of journalists, intimidation of journalists, covering the executive mansion was high. Yeah, the level of intimidation was at its highest peak. And so the union got involved and became engaged. And there were multiple media dialogue to solidify relationship and all of that. We would come from there, nothing will work, and we go back and all of that. So that World Press Freedom Day, I think it was 2009. Othello Warwick was invited to Grand Bassa to speak. Normally we'll call security people to go there and all that. And at that place, he made a statement to paraphrase that he was trying to caution media people to coexist with security people, but he slipped by issuing a warning. And that warning was, in the exercise or the discharge of your duty, or while discharging or exercising your duty of performing your duty, don't forget that you have your pens and we have our guns. So he was equating the power of the pen to the power of a gun, to that of a gun. And I know that there were some security officers then, senior persons who also had issue with the statement. And they were arguing the law of proportionality and all of that. You can't proportion the power of a pen to gun. It's not proportional. So it's somewhat clear that Othello Warwick was saying, if you use a pen to write a critical story of the EPS or the president, he was not going to use a pen to respond to you or retaliate. He was going to use his gun to retaliate, because the fact that he was equating the power of the pen to the gun. So your own power you get as journalists are your pen or your microphone. Our own power we get that our gun. So when you use a power to attack me, we use our own power to attack your back or to reply you. So our power is the pen and the microphone, and their power is the gun. And at the end of the day, the executive marshal had to apologize to the media people. It was a serious debate. And I can remember, I think an apology was issued, and Othello Warwick did not stay on anywhere as EPS director. I don't know. I can't say it was because of that statement, but he did not stay on as EPS director. And sadly, he passed off later on, all of that. But what I'm making this reference to say, in January, it was around September and November, I had a conversation here about Sam again. I said one thing to him. I said, what I'm saying to you, I'm not going to hold any conversation here again about the EPS or you until you bring yourself into public disrepute. And I said a hint to the wise was quite sufficient. I'm done with you. And I was done with him since September or November until now. I'm having a conversation again about him. There are certain positions that you occupy, you don't write or author anything. There are positions you sit in, they come with extra power. There are statements that you will make that may not be considered a direct instruction but they become policy in the wisdom of your followers. I'm speaking wisdom tonight to all of you. Now, we here, I will not use us, I'll use the security people and Joseph Boaga. Joe Boaga goes to Capitol building and say, the building here, those who burn this building must be made to account for it. Without any formal or technical briefing to the president, he made a statement by saying those who burn the building will be made to account for it. In the absence of any technical briefing, the president was in error, right? The president concluded that human being burn the building was not awesome. And he went further to say, if you have your differences or your grievances up Capitol Hill, there is a way, or there should be a way to settle it instead of resorting into destroying public properties. He was referring to one side of the house, because the house was divided into two. So the president was definite. The president did not tell Gregory Cuomo or Justice Minister, say, y'all go arrest lawmakers, y'all beat lawmakers, y'all restrain lawmakers. But the fact that the president said that, the president incriminated lawmakers and endangered the lives of lawmakers who were on the minority side against the side that the government was supporting. That was an indirect instruction from the president to Gregory Cuomo and the other security people to treat those people as potential, to treat them as persons of interest. So when the police director, Gregory Cuomo, decided to invite lawmakers only from the minority bloc as persons of interest, he was not acting on the instruction of Joe Boaga directly, on the direct instruction of Joe Boaga. But Joe Boaga had issued a statement, concluding a conclusive statement, inferring that one is that the building, that people burn the building, and two, the people who burn the building are people from one side of the political fight in the house. That statement was made after Joe Boaga, the executive, the Senate, everybody are already taking side to do business with the majority bloc. So obviously, they will not be going after members of the majority bloc. So what that statement did is that it incriminated and endangered the safety of members of the minority bloc. So you saw state security forces moving in and disrespecting lawmakers from the minority bloc. Even though I will be realistic and say, Boaga did not say directly, y'all go after them. But he did not have to say it. But the fact that he made that statement, state security people started going after them. Considering Boaga had not made that statement, state of interest and inviting them for questioning or investigation. This is the case with Semigi. So when you find yourself in certain position, you don't say anything. You have to choose your words. You have to pick your words. You are the director of the EPS. You control men, over 500 men in arms, lethal weapons, deadly weapons. You are the secret service. You providing secret political and secret service for VIPs. So you have unhindered access to go into somebody's WhatsApp. Somebody made appearance on radio. You don't take phone to go on the radio and respond to the man. You don't issue statement clarifying and distancing yourself from the statement made by the man. You go into the man inbox to tell him that he will see you, that you will meet him. That was a threat. That was a direct threat. Now, what that does not give direct instruction to EPS officers carrying arm or weapon. It does not give direct instruction to police officers carrying weapon. It does not give direct instruction to other fire service or AFL people carrying weapon. No. What it does is that it places Eugene in a box. It places Eugene at a level. There's a word I want to use. I'm missing my choice of word. But it places Eugene on the red line. It considers him as a threat. By that statement, all EPS officers now see Eugene as a threat. So they will treat him as a threat anywhere they see him. It means Eugene now cannot even attend any government function as a formal government official. He can't. Because the director has already placed him under the microscope. The EPS director is already considering him a threat. So he doesn't have to directly instruct all EPS officers to see Eugene and give him barricade or keep him outside government functionalities. He doesn't have to give direct instruction to go after Eugene, whether physically or anyway. He does not. But that is an indirect instruction to all EPS personnel. You know what I mean? Your boss man angry with Eugene. The EPS director is angry with Eugene. The EPS director and Eugene fighting. What side do you think EPS men in arms are going to take? They are obviously going to take the side of their boss because they want to impress their boss. They want to show to their boss that they are in solidarity with him. And to be in solidarity with their boss, what do you think they are going to do? They are going to go after Eugene. Hey. So that's why leaders who find themselves into influential positions are not supposed to write anything or say anything. Eugene is a politician. Eugene is a politician. A politician goes to a radio show and makes political statement to make a case on behalf of his political leader. And you think he can serve you ice cream? When you running around saying you made your own statement to defaming the reputation of the main political leader. You are the first who wrote and said to the country, the whole country, that Jowiya stole car. In fact, that's still in Jowiya stole car because he said the man stole 2 cars along with him. Eugene said it's on the record. So if you accuse the man bossman of taking cars along with him, 2 cars with him, I mean taking a car with him, and the car the man told, in fact, Eugene said the man did not take car. It is the man's car. Government did not buy the car for him, that he owns the car. So to say he took car, no, you will be admitting or confirming that the man actually took government property. But you wrote on the record that Jowiya took car. I mean, you defame Jowiya character. Jowiya not get vexed. He not go sue you, which he could have sued you for defamation because you lie on him that he stole government car. He not gonna do it. Eugene now comes to clarify. Then you take a clarification and start issuing and go to a WhatsApp DM and start issuing threat. Or you won't be political. When the politicians respond to you, then you want to issue a threat. Then you want to quote. Kabila Jana, my papi lost some money. So me I join I carry your cases to him. Papi need to get some money by now. You know, so I say, so that I say, papi, you get plenty clients now. You know, you get plenty clients. Yeah, so y'all give the men enough. Yeah, men need more clients. Because I think your own play, a children play your own. That complete joke. Your own children play. I read on same game was done. You know, when I used to listen to him once, you know, once in a while, I used to take him to be a serious old man, you know. But let me leave. But you go to court. You lie on somebody boss man, you say the man stole car. Joey, I not get vexed. You said Joey, I took car, he not get vexed. He didn't get you to court. A chief of staff now goes to the radio to clarify your misinformation. So if you want to talk defamation, then we all should be. Let's talk defamation here now. Who is defaming whose character? You went to the public and said the main bossman took car from government when the main bossman did not take car from government. That's defamation. That's lie. They may not go to court. They may say, okay, say the man won't be political. For he dismissed over 40 EPS officers because they are sedition. He was being political. We didn't battle him. We didn't respond to him. He went again and said, oh, the president took car and carry it. That's defamation. Didn't say anything. You come on now, they tell one of the guys start lying on the fleet of vehicles that the motorcade that the person was using. You see, all the vehicles are old. That's so old car. They turn over to the EPS. That one now said, no. I think, Mr. President, I have to go to the radio to clarify. One, he said the president stole one car and carried it to the horse. Two, he said the president. One, he said the president stole car and carried it to the horse. Two, he said the president turned over old car. That's so old car the president turned over to you. That's what he said. Did you dismiss? Don't forget about the dismissal of the EPS people then. But the first thing you lie, the man stole one car and carried. He said the man took car and carried with him. But the man did not carry car. The second one, he said, John, we are turning over so old vehicles. Eugene had the bill of lending, the purchase order, all the information. Said, but these are not old cars. These are the years that we bought the vehicle, the different dates. So let me go clarify in defense of the repetition of my boss man. The man goes to clarify your information, your misinformation, your concocted information that is intended to defame the character and the reputation of John Weah. The man goes to the radio to clarify. In the make clarification, then you get very saying text to threaten him. Oh, so that only once you just say that and just lie on John Weah name. Nobody should say anything. Let's agree. The worst case, we say, hey, you lie on John Weah name, so I can't lie on your own name too. So you know how lying can hear. What do you do? You want to engage in the political debates. You should be prepared for penalties. You say that you wrote on record, you lie, you say the man stole one car, then so old car and turn over to you. The man said, okay, I go on the radio too, I'm going to respond to that man. The man go on the radio, he responded to you, then you get there. If you can stand the heat, don't get in the fire, same gay. Don't get in the fire, you're wasting your time. That case is going nowhere. The only reason why I'm even talking about this and having a conversation about this thing is the aspect that has to do with the threat against Eugene. You got to go in his inbox and start threatening him. That was grave. And I like the way the lawyers addressed the communication to cabinet and won't tell him, hey, we are rejecting your request to retract. Because firstly, the information you provided is misleading. The second thing to the Minister of Justice is this man is a government official. This man controls an entire paramilitary organization. They have arms. So for this man to be going into another citizen's inbox and issuing threat, you as a Minister of Justice, this is beyond party lineage. This is beyond party alliance. This is about the safety of a former senior official of the Liberian government. That you, Mr. Minister of Justice, you have to investigate this matter and reach the logical end. And where there are probable causes for prosecution or whatsoever or punishment, please do not hesitate to punish or prosecute. Fair enough. I will stop on this note and we will transition to this to the senator stuff. So this is what the senator wrote. We're closing the week now, so let's touch everything and then we'll go. He said executive interference in the work of the judiciary. It's a question. If what I'm hearing is true, that the president has asked the Supreme Court to postpone or defer its ruling on the Bill of Information, then that's a serious violation of the Constitution. It will be an interference with the work of the judiciary and amounts to an obstruction of justice, an act or conduct that in any form or manner interferes with or impedes the dispensation of justice. Councillor Verdier is wrong, inherently wrong. He tried fruitlessly to defend the indefensible on Spoon tonight. Coordination of the three branches of the government as enshrined in the Constitution does not include interference with the work of the other. It's just a regular process of consultation or working together to enhance governance, which is administrative. It's not legal, it's administrative. Now, our thing about coordination is highly, strictly, exclusively administrative. The doctrine of coordination between the three branches of government is administrative, it's not legal. So there should be no interference with the judiciary over matter that is in court or before the court. The president will sit down and allow the court to review, to hear, and come up with a ruling or opinion. Now, that's not what is alleged here. He went further to say, it is reported that President Bouaka placed a call to the Chief Justice asking the Supreme Court not to give its ruling on the Bill of Information now, but to give him 2 weeks to resolve the impasse at the House of Representatives, which is the subject of the Bill of Information. Clearly, undoubtedly, and definitively, this is an interference with the work of the judiciary. And that amounts to an obstruction of justice, a serious constitutional breach if this information is correct. Should the Supreme Court succumb to the overreaching of the executive or surrender its authority to it? A question. Absolutely not. I don't think the Supreme Court will do that. If the Supreme Court allows this to happen, then that will be the beginning of the end of the independence of the judiciary. Our country can afford the consequences. And for anybody to suggest that some people will not respect the ruling of the Supreme Court, or that this is purely a political matter that lies only within the preference of the legislature, the House particularly, is to say that the members of the House of Representatives the members of the House of Representatives are above the law. Also, to insinuate, the insinuation that the crisis at the House of Representatives is purely a political matter is grossly misleading. Like the Chief Justice said during the arguments of the Bill of Information, who the members of the House of Representatives elect as their speaker is a political matter. But how they elect and remove that person is a legal matter. Because that is within the ambit. Of the Constitution. The Constitution provides for how a speaker is elected or removed. We are a country of law and not men. Now, it's 9:41, so I will speak maybe within 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and then we can take calls. Let me check and see whether we can do a draw here. I was now following. Let me see what we can do a draw. If we can do a draw, then we'll go into our discussion. Okay, we can do a draw. Yeah. So now, how to receive hints, intel. It comes in 2 phases. The word interference is being used, but I'm going to include manipulation. I believe, based on what I have seen and based on everything I heard on today, I believe that the president is manipulating the bench or attempting to. I believe that the president is attempting to manipulate the bench of the Supreme Court, the full bench. I'm convinced that the president is also convinced that the matter before the full bench of the Supreme Court is not going to play in his favor. The president has been made to understand this belief as well. The Minister of Justice has briefed the president. The president is in the know. The president has received legal briefing. I've been told. And because of that briefing, how the Minister of Justice got to know the direction in which the opinion or the interpretation of the Supreme Court is going, that push him into running to the president to brief him and ask him to intervene administratively, to avoid shame and disgrace and embarrassment in the government or against the government. I don't know. I can't say that for now, but I'm aware that the president is aware. The president is in the know. The president has been briefed that the interpretation of the Supreme Court does not favor the majority bloc. And that some members also of the majority bloc are going to some members of the Senate, including Prince Moine, to ask them to reach out to the president and ask for the president's administrative and financial intervention to ensure that they close the matter on this thing before the Supreme Court ruling comes up. And that's where this whole request to the Supreme Court for 1 week or 2 weeks, came in the picture. When you say don't release your ruling, but let's give her 1 or 2 weeks, let's see whether we can fix some things behind the scene. So as soon as the ruling comes up, we can still be able to effect the impeachment. That is another discussion for Monday. Yeah. So the president is aware that that things are not in his favor. The president was giving enough time. Look, let me tell you something. All the time you saw the Supreme Court taking break when the Supreme Court should have heard this bill of information before they closed for their February term of court, right? But they closed, the bill of information was before 8. The Supreme Court closed for the February term of court without hearing the bill of information. In my mind, that was wisdom. People say, oh, the Supreme Court, look, I also believe that the Supreme Court is under moral obligation. The Supreme Court is under social obligation to ensure that what ruling that comes out of the Supreme Court, while it's true, we all should be patriotic enough to uphold the ruling that comes from the Supreme Court. But there are some rulings that have political undertone that would destabilize the country. At that point, the Supreme Court will play smart. Will have to be strategic. Will have to be patriotic, and deploy some strategy, not thwarting their opinion or their ruling, but deploy a strategy that will enable political actors to resolve or fix things or soften things before the ruling comes, and so it does not lead the country into political instability. So the Supreme Court was not dull. They were not bored. The Supreme Court, in my mind, acted wisely by not hearing that bill of information because they wanted to give the executive or the president a chance to fix things or prepare things, soften the political tension in the country, and then before they hear the bill of information. So see how long the Supreme Court was on break. The president was still fighting. Instead of using that break to fix things, the president was in essence fighting more in paying police officers to beat lawmakers, to hear lawmakers, to beat on their hand, to hear them, to tell them to disinfect their vehicles, subjecting their vehicles to search, intensifying the need, the test to continue fighting. I don't know who told them that let's intimidate them and then they will succumb. The person who gave that kind of advice, that let's intimidate them, let's hold their benefits, and they will succumb. That person did not advise appropriately when there were legal issues still confronting the removal of the speaker. So you had enough time. The Supreme Court gave you enough time to have dialogue that matter, resolve that matter. Ever since, people acted irresponsible, people acted arrogant, And the arrogance of those people, that's what has gotten us to where we are today. Now, you don't want the Supreme Court to come over you. So you're telling the full bench of the Supreme Court, say, all five of you people, y'all take your reputation, y'all take your integrity, y'all put it on the line for my baby. That's what you're telling them. That's exactly what you're telling them. You're telling somebody who you are older than 10 years because she's turning 70 and you turn 80, according to information. So you're telling her, say, my small sister, I'm older than you 10 years. All the integrity you've worked for over 70, for over 69 years, put it on the line. Use less than 1 month to raise it, to put on the line. Use less than 1 month to damage it. Use less than 2 weeks to destroy your integrity that you have worked for over the period of 69 years. We are telling Siane Yo now, your integrity and your reputation that you've worked to build over the period of 69 years, destroy it. Use 2 weeks to destroy it. That's what we're saying. Nobody knew Siane Yo. Siane Yo was here practicing law, and every day lawyer. Nobody knew her until she was appointed as Associate Justice on the bench of the Supreme Court. That's when she became popular. So imagine all those years the woman I worked for, practiced law for, be able to build her reputation in and outside of the country before being appointed by Judge we are as Chief Justice. Then our old Babe say the woman should destroy, use 2 weeks to destroy locally and internationally, destroy her reputation. Her reputation she's fought to build over 69 unbroken years. Over 35 years of practicing law. You say the over 35 years that you have practiced law, destroy it in 2 weeks because of my business. This thing is not tied to our president's survival. That if you rule, if you release your interpretation, the president will die. The president will not die. The president will not die. This is if this thing was tied to your life as the president, I would have said, yeah, but oh man, you practice for over 35 years now. You live T schools and 10. You reach your T schools and 10. So you reach a biblical requirement for human being to live. So and you stay living. So you just destroy your reputation to save our president life. I could have advised that one because if it was tied to his life. But it's not tied to your life. They really not tied to your life. They really is not tied. You know what the ruling is tied to? This ruling is tied to the existence of this government. This ruling is tied to the survival of this government. And I don't think the president should be interfering with it. But again, Councillor Che, what do you expect? You were in the Senate as a Senate chair on judiciary. Do you remember, folks? Do you remember I had a conversation about the legal advisor to the president when he took his phone and called the Senate solicitor and he demanded him, instructing him to drop all indictments or charges against Prophet Key in the case involving Prophet Key and Judy Annie. And I told you one thing. I said, hey, I said to you, the beginning of the end. The beginning of the end of judicial independence in this country was on the day the legal advisor to the president would take telephone and call a city solicitor and instructing him to drop charges against a private citizen in a country. A case involving two private citizens. Legal advisor to the president takes phone in the executive mansion. The man was standing in the executive mansion holding a press conference, at a live press conference, and telling you the role that he played in the case involving Prophet Key and Judy Annie in Joseph Braga's office. The Minister of Justice did not say anything. The Senate Committee on Judiciary did not say anything. The House's Committee on Judiciary did not say anything. Nobody said anything about that interference. I said that was the beginning of the executive interfering with the judiciary. Even those of the other members in the judiciary, only one lawyer called me. The next day, in fact, because he didn't have my number, but he listened to the show. He called me the next day and said, one of my colleagues gave him my number. And he called and said, Austin, I don't know you, I've not met you, but this conversation, the conversation you heard last night, I just wish our leaders can listen, especially members of the Supreme Court. I wish they can listen to your conversation or your advice and take heed. Because I too believe. He said, my son, I have practiced law for over 42 years in this country. I have never seen or heard a legal advisor going public to say he told telephone and calling a city solicitor and asking him to drop charges. A matter involving two private citizens, how does it concern the president's office? When your job is restricted to the office of the president, Giuliani goes to court with Prophet Key. How does it concern the office of the president that the legal advisor will take a phone to call a city solicitor? My people, he said, Austin, you are right. I don't know whether you're in law school, but to even form that opinion or that analysis, that's why I look for your number all around to call you. And that lawyer is still around today, actively involved. So we can call his name. I said that thing. I said, hey, this thing we are overlooking here, this is the beginning of the executive interfering with the judiciary. If we allow this to slide under the carpet without any punishment, the Bar Association did not say anything. I personally called on the Bar Association to condemn the action and take action against Buju Ben Keita. The Bar Association kept quiet. They did not say anything. All the lawyers in the country kept quiet. They didn't say anything. The Supreme Court kept quiet. She didn't say anything. Ministry of Justice did not do anything. The Senate and Houses committees on judiciary did not say anything, did not do anything. Buju Ben is still the legal advisor to the president. Ask yourself, folks, if a legal advisor to the president would take his telephone in the executive mansion and place a call to a city solicitor and instructing him to drop charges or not to draw up any indictment against Prophet Key in a matter that involves two citizens, two private citizens, what do you think the president will be doing? Because if the legal advisor is interfering with the justice system at the court level, the lower court level, the subordinate court level, the president will start interfering at the Supreme Court level. This is exactly what's happening today. I see the same people now complaining. When we were talking, you were saying different things. You were not listening. Today now you see the president himself now is interfering with the Supreme Court now. Then you won't cry. Then you want us to cry along with you. When we say now we're not crying with you, then you say either we're not let laborious or we frisky or we rude. But when we were crying, when we were shouting, you all did not listen. Councillor Kofa says something, I will always reference it. I will go for it. I will close with this. With this post for Councillor Kofa during the classes. I want to read verbatim. So I will go to his post and remind all of you what he said. I will close with this with a post. Yeah, I will close with it. And I will always reference that.
We're live in Morocco.
I'll go to it. All right, I'll go there. I will find it. I found that post. Okay, I'm close to it. Yeah, I think I am. Okay. Okay. But I'll close with this post. If I find the post, I will not close the show. If I find it, I will not close the show. This is it. So to the senators, especially Councillor Che, an old man, a lawyer that I have, and I told you I'm a follower of him. I read all of his opinions on legal issues. All. Because he does not see CDC or UP in his opinions about issues in the country. His legal opinions about issues in the country. That's why I read a piece. All lawyers, the Bar Association, including the full bench of the Supreme Court. From the day that Buju Ben Keita man stood in our executive mansion holding live press conference and announcing that he took telephone and called city solicitor. Legal advisor to president is supposed to be taking telephone and calling city solicitor to ask him why is he joining up charges against somebody. That legal advisor wrote there. They may said that thing on record, on video. I still have the video here. They may said that thing on video. Nobody did anything. Nobody did anything. Today, Buju Ben is still legal advisor. Then the president himself, now, if the legal advisor is interfering at the lower court level, you think the person will go low? The person will go high. So y'all interfere with the judiciary at the lower level. I will interfere at the Supreme Court level, the full bench. The president now is interfering, then all y'all come outside the counter. But we could have prevented or averted interference, potential interference, because those members of the Supreme Court bench will not come outside and be crying far. Oh, the president trying to arm towards us, the president trying to manipulate us, the president trying to interfere. They will not come cry. But we all will get hints. And we use our different platforms and our different capacity to chastise and beat on the president and the executive to stop interfering with our justice system, to stop interfering with the judiciary. And you all were sitting, doing nothing because it did not affect you or it was not about you. Including lawyers now who are seeing that I'm beginning again, or to the associate justices and the chief justice of the Supreme Court bench now, now they are coming on and they want to talk now because the attack, the interference has claimed the bench of the Supreme Court. If they had spoken then, it would have deterred Joe Baka. But they did not speak. So it did not deter him. It encouraged him to go higher with the influence of the judiciary. Hence, the challenge we are having, the problems we are having, the chaos we are having, the disaster we are having today. On December 22nd, 2024, Councillor Jonathan Fonati-Kofa wrote this. He said, when they were illegally removing the speaker, many in the political class said, it is a number game. Leave the legality. It's political. Move on. Now they have illegally sieged the salaries and benefits of their colleagues and staff during Christmas season. Is this the numbers games too? To not pay the staff whom they believe did not support their illegal acts? Is this the numbers game too? Then he comes down to say, scores of families are without Christmas because of their numbers game whose rules are set by the majority. Is this the country we want? It reminds me of the poem at the Holocaust Museum. The poem at the Holocaust Museum. That poem reads, first, they came for the socialist. And I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Oh, this poem is short but it's sweet. It has message. It has message that reincarnates you. It has message that motivates you. It has message that rejuvenates your intelligence. It has message that all of us can use. He said, first they came for the socialist. And I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. When they came for the seditionists at EPS, nobody spoke out because they were not seditionists working at the EPS. They were seditionists working at the Ministry of State. When they went for the seditionists at the Ministry of State, they did not speak out because they were not seditionists working at the Ministry of State. They were seditionists working at the National Port Authority. When they went for seditious working at the National Port Authority, the seditious did not speak up because they were seditious working at the Capitol building of the legislature. That's what he said. He said, first day they came for the socialist. And I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionist. And I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews. And I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me. And there was no one left to speak for me. This is the case with the Supreme Court bench. This is the case with the lawyers in our country. This is the case with the Senate and other members of the House. When Joe Barker's legal advisor was interfering with the judiciary at the lower level, everybody sat back and said, hey, it does not concern us. That not mean they're calling. That not mean they're coming for that Judy Haley get her case. They all go Friday. But they did not consider that if that worked, if we all had sat down and allowed, if we had sat down and allowed that to work, it would have spilled over to the higher authority. Today, what has happened? They are going now for the Chief Justice and the Associate Justices of the Supreme Court. But they were sitting and not doing anything and not saying anything. The Bar Association was not talking. The legal people, the lawyers in the Senate and the House were not speaking. The lawyers, the lawyering students were not speaking. APRIL have been the most quiet and silent institution in the country since 2024 January. They can't talk again because the president, a United Party woman, so APRIL is dead. Dead. Nobody to speak. But hey, to the full bench of the Supreme Court, we can assure you that this is not a case with the socialists and the trade unionists and the Jews. This is a Liberian case. If there is no one available to stand to speak truth to power, we are available. We want to build a relationship with the government that will promote democratic values, not a relationship that will undermine and destroy democratic values. That's not going to happen. It's not possible. It's not possible. We have to go. But it's not possible. The only reason why I'm going over town tonight because it's my last edition for this week. So the political message to me that the political sermon has to be strong, especially the closing portion of the political sermon has to be strong. Thanks to all of you who follow the show tonight. We have to go, folks. Trust me, we have to go. But that's all I can say tonight about this thing. So, Councillor Che, yes, we respect it. But again, all of you who are complaining that the Supreme Court delay to issue the ruling, and it seems with your delay or refuse to talk or speak then when one legal advisor in Joe Barker's office decided to start taking phone and calling city solicitor and questioning his role, questioning his work, telling him to, hey, don't draw up any charges. If there are charges, drop them. We should have spoken. We did not. We are all equally guilty for what is happening today, for the level of interference that is coming from the executive mansion to the Supreme Court. You all are equally guilty. Some of us are on record for speaking. We will not share that guilt because we spoke. But some of you did not listen. This is the disaster we have now. Fellow Liberians, this is how we're going to end the Nora Finabono's edition of Freedom Hard Talk tonight.
Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands. Come on.
And again, we say thanks to all of you for following the show.
Oh, yeah? Okay, let's go.
We intentionally decided not to open the telephone lines to take calls. May the peace of our good Lord rule, rest, and abide with all of you. Go in peace and be of good courage. Render evil for evil unto no man. In the name of the Father, In the name of the Son and in the name of the blessed Holy Spirit. Let the children of God say amen.
We tire with the promises.
We see you on Monday. My name is Ostikawa. It was nice being here. Bye-bye.
Preach the preach indeed, and now you need to deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why does you lie? Why does you steal? Why does you allow the citizens to be? See, we just tell you.